Kyle Busch and Joe Gibbs Racing are in their 15th season together. In that time, Busch has raced to an incredible 147 victories in the Xfinity and Cup Series. While Gibbs has readily cheered on the future Hall of Fame driver en route to his many wins, including 60 in Cup, he's also stood by him in the darker times. But unless you've been living under a rock for months, you've likely heard that Busch's future at JGR is in serious jeopardy. Signs of trouble brewing first showed up in April at Talladega, when Busch shocked reporters in an exchange about his future with the team.
You're getting antsy about it?
I'm not getting antsy about it. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. Goodbye.
So, goodbye is an option?
Ask Joe Gibbs.
Have you been knocking on his door then?
Not my problem.
Is it their problem then, right?
Gotta sell it. If you don't sell it, then nothing to sell or nothing to have.
So it's all about the sponsor.
Correct.
That's got to be frustrating, though, in this day and age.
Yeah. Truck Series is probably 95% kids with money.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that if you don't get anything from Gibbs, that there'll be somebody else out there that you land at?
Probably not.
Well, they're not going to let you go. They'll figure out something, won't they?
Ask Joe Gibbs.
And we were just getting started. There's absolutely no way we could have known that months later, Busch wouldn't be any closer to signing a new deal with the organization. And that's where we are now. For the last couple of months, JGR, Toyota, and Gibbs himself have painted a rosier picture of the situation, while Busch, in his upfront way, has suggested the parties were nowhere close to a deal. Interestingly, in the last few weeks, the tone has shifted dramatically. Toyota officials recently admitted they were in a bad place with the situation. Even the typically optimistic and encouraging Gibbs hasn't been able to hide the disappointment of what's happening behind the scenes.
And it is hard, though. You got to put a lot in place to make things work out, and we're working as hard as we can. We're going after it in a number of different directions, and so yeah, I'm surprised at this point that we haven't been able to get that finished.
This past weekend at Pocono could have been a fairy tale situation for Busch, racing in the yellow number 18 M&M's car in the M&M's Fan Appreciation 400, a race where all the employees were in attendance cheering on their car one final time. Busch had a solid day, starting and finishing second with an asterisk, but you wouldn't have been able to tell by his behavior, and in particular, the way he reacted moments after the race when the three-time Super Bowl winning coach approached him to congratulate him on the day. Busch, effectively ignoring his boss, unsurprisingly caught the attention of fans after NASCAR posted the video on Twitter. It was also a hot topic of conversation on the latest episode of the Door Bumper Clear podcast, and the show's co-host, including Bubba Wallace's spotter Freddie Kraft, didn't hold back, expressing how many fans felt about Busch's cold shoulder.
As far as Kyle's reaction, I mean, for one thing, this is not really a surprise to see Kyle reacting this way after finishing second.
That was normal.
I think anybody that walks up to Kyle in that situation is probably going to get a similar reaction. But I mean, come on. Like, this is a guy, Brett. How much money has Joe Gibbs paid Kyle Busch?
$100 million probably. Plus.
How many wins? I mean, I looked it up last night. Kyle Busch has 147 wins in the last 15 years in JGR cars.
Wow.
So, like, when Joe Gibbs walks up, maybe you take a break from being pouting and being mad to, like, acknowledge the guy's presence at least. Maybe that's too much to ask for.
Moments later, Griffin, who spots for Justin Haley, bluntly offered his thoughts.
What Kyle Busch did yesterday in that video that I saw in NASCAR is disrespectful. Where is your gratitude, buddy? Where's your grace? Because you don't ever display any. So maybe that's why you're not marketable enough to warrant a $25 million sponsor right now. I'm sorry. Most talented guy in the garage? Yeah, he's one of them. Best personality for NASCAR? Probably. Last person I think NASCAR wants to see go away is Kyle Busch. Because you don't need 100 Chase Elliott's. You don't need 100 whatever. You need guys that are out there doing what Kyle's doing. But man, in that video, holy disrespectful. I thought it was bad.
It was undeniably a bad look for Busch. But as Griffin said, Busch's "I don't care what anyone else thinks" attitude is why so many of his diehard fans find him so appealing. He says what's on his mind. In this case, he didn't say anything, but shared what was on his mind by ignoring Gibbs. It's not endearing to most people, and not how you hope your children act when they grow up, but it is uniquely Kyle Busch. Gibbs knows this. He's dealt with this behavior for 15 years. The question is whether he has to deal with it anymore after this season.